Hi, good morning everybody. My name is Mr. Vipperman. You've probably heard me, Mr. Vip. I just want to kind of give you a brief introduction as to what today's lab is going to be. It's a 3-day lab for most of you, and it really does take that. So I do encourage you to make sure to use your time wisely because there is a lot to do here. Basically what we're going to be doing is the same things we've been doing for the past 2 weeks. We're going to calculate the tangential velocity, we're going to calculate the centripetal acceleration, and we're going to calculate the centripetal force of objects that are moving in a circle. And you should remember from your training that centripetal motion always points to the center. That centripetal, I can't remember if it's Greek or if it's Latin, but it means center seeking. So the first thing you're going to do is you will notice that you're going to have marked cups sitting at various stations around the room with numbers on them. You and your group of 4 will go to one of those stations and you will grab that particular cup and you're going to make a note of which cup you had, whether it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7. You're going to write that down somewhere. Make sure you remember it. Don't forget, because if you do, you've just screwed the whole thing up. Okay? So keep a note of that number. Now each group, it's really important. All of you have something very important to do. There'll be groups of 4. I don't usually do this, but 4's for safety's sake. There are 4 people. The first is the spotter, and you have the most important job. You have one job. One job. Make sure no one gets killed during this, hurt, injured, whatever. That's your job. So you don't need to be on your cell phone. You don't need to be doing anything other than just making sure that things are safe, because we got a lot of people in these rooms. A lot can happen. Trust me, I've seen it. I've had people have their glasses busted. I've had people get hit in the twins. A variety of things can happen. The second person, your job, is pretty easy. You are the timer. Your job is to either use your cell phone or to use a stopwatch. And you're going to set it to count down to 20 seconds. And when you set it, you're going to let your person that's about to spin, it's time to start. Or you're going to let your person know when it's time to stop. But you're going to count down to 20 seconds. That is your one job. One job. The third person in each group, your job is when this thing is spinning, when this apparatus is spinning, I'll talk more about this in just a second, you're to count how many times it rotates. I find that over the years it's easier if you're counting out loud. So you're going to, when the spotter says to start, you're going to start. When they say to stop, you're going to stop. And however many times it went around in that 20 seconds, you're going to make a note of that, okay? That is your job. The last person, they have the most important job. And they're actually going to be the ones that spin this. And I'll show you how this works in just a moment. But your job is going to be to control this apparatus, letting them know when it's ready to go, and so on and so forth. Okay? So let's talk about this mamma jamma. You're going to have a mass on this. This is your stopper. You're going to have a length of cable. You're going to have your little spinners where you hold on to it. And you're going to have a piece of tape here, and you're going to have a paper clip here. And the paper clip is used to hold the weights that I'm going to give you. The first thing your group will do when you get to your station and you get your numbered cup is you're going to take this mass and you're going to use a balance beam, and I'll have those provided for you, and you're going to get the mass of this particular stopper. It'll be different for every group, so if you cheat, sorry, you lose. At that point, you are then going to measure the length of this string. And what you want to do is you want to measure it from this, the back end of this, all the way to the tip of the pin. Now it's important when you get this, I'm going to have Miss Marco walk over here with it. When you're measuring this, you want to make sure that you have it stuck like so. You want to have this piece of tape hanging about 1 inch below the actual pin. You're going to measure the radius, or measure the length of the string from here to here. And you want to make sure that you convert it to meters, because these little meter sticks right here, they're measured in centimeters. So like 17 centimeters would be 0.17 meters. You're going to make sure you convert it. Basically, for every centimeter, that's 0.1 whatever meters, okay? So you're going to measure from the tip of this right here. I'm going to measure this, 1, and it goes out to 64 centimeters. So that's 0.64 meters. Very important to do that. Make sure that this thing's about 1 inch or so away when you get your measurement. That is going to be your radius. You'll note that down for each of your trials. That's your radius. You'll have your mass of your stopper as well. So those are the 2 measurements you need to get right away. Once you get that done for your measurements, what you're going to do is you're going to pick out a mass, and I'll have a bunch of them, as well as all the other teachers, and you're going to clip it to the bottom of this mass, and you want to make sure it's secure. And when you're doing that, I'm going to step aside here so we don't kill anybody. You're going to have this mass hanging like so. You're going to have your hands on this, and you're going to proceed to spin it above your head. Now, don't start counting. Don't have your timer stop until the spinner says they're ready. Your goal, see the piece of tape that's right there? Your goal is to have that piece of tape hang about that far below. You don't want to spin so fast that it ends up getting sucked up into the roller because it isn't right. And you don't want to have it going so slow that it starts drooping. You want to have it nice and steady at about that far. Once you've got it good and steady, you'll tell your timer to start. They'll set their 20-second timer, and then your counter will actually count the number of revolutions this thing will make in 20 seconds. You will do this 3 times for each trial. You'll notice there's 6 trials. You will do this 3 times for each trial. You will average your results for each trial. So if you got 3 trials, you'll average the 3 results down, and that'll be what you put on the piece of paper. So that's how you actually get the apparatus. It takes some getting used to. Once you get it going, you don't have to move a whole lot or do anything crazy. You can just keep it going like so. Just make sure that piece of tape isn't bouncing up or down. Keep it nice and stable, about 1 inch from the bottom. Okay. Once you're done with that, you're going to record your data. And then literally, if you think about it, you've got your mass, you've got your radius, you're going to have how many rotations, because you counted them. You got your time, it's 20 seconds. You have everything you need to calculate centripetal acceleration, centripetal force, and tangential velocity. If you have any questions, and I'm sure you will, feel free to ask your teacher anytime. Have fun. What are you waiting on? Get started.